of us have come across women who have undergone sexual abuse. But how many of us have actually got down to collecting evidence so that we can make it as a document which will help her later to get justice? Whether we are in private practice or whether we are working in public hospitals, it is our imperative duty and responsibility to document all what we see at that very point of time, because it is this evidence which will ultimately help the woman to get justice, and it will prevent the criminal from getting away from such a heinous crime.
Sexual crime is not about sex, lust, or passion. It is a power trip meant to humiliate, to control. A violent act where the medical profession can and must play a pivotal role.
What normally happens is the doctors, when the moment they hear is a case of rape, they will immediately say, okay, police have to come. It is not necessary the police should come for the purpose of examining. The Supreme Court judgment is there to say doctor has a duty to attend first and then send for the police for the purpose of record.
Police report or not, the law is clear. A victim of sexual assault needs medical attention. Right to treatment precedes all else. Though doctors in private practice cannot testify in court, their medical reports and records can and do serve as an important tool in the judicial process. The victim needs both compassion and professional competence.
It's very important for the doctors to understand here is not that somebody's come for medical treatment, but a crime has been committed. A violation has happened, and doctors' cooperation and doctors' role is the most important for getting a conviction. The doctor's duty is to give a report using his medical knowledge and using his proximity to the victim, because he or she is examining her very intimately, which no other person will do. No police will do, no judge will do, no mother will do, that looking at injuries from a medical perspective so closely.
Sexual crime is medico-legal. The purpose of the examination is to establish if a sexual act has been attempted or completed, whether the woman gave her consent or not, whether the consent given was valid or not. It is important to verify age in case of minor victims. General examination should begin with a thorough inspection of the body for bruises, scratches, bites or abrasions. These should be noted in detail as they are proof of lack of consent and resistance. However, lack of injuries does not imply consent. Any foreign material present on the body should be collected, and the clothes too, if the victim has not changed. Find out if the victim has bathed or washed oneself and record it. Checking the buccal cavity for injury and collecting a swab is important. Be vigilant for blood or semen stains on skin. Nail clippings and scrapings, urine sample, clipping of pubic hair are also forensic evidence. Sample of venous blood is necessary for grouping, testing for pathogens, and also for alcohol or drug levels. Consent under influence of drugs is invalid. Inspect the genital area in detail. perineum for injury, seminal stains or stray pubic hair, vulva and labia for swelling, bleeding or tears. Swabs from every level of the internal genitalia are a must. An anal swab should also be collected. Anesthesia for minor victims is advisable. Most importantly, the woman's consent is important. The medical examination should not become another violation.
As it is, our women are don't use terminologies like that. Even they don't say कि मुझे बलात्कार किया है. They say मेरे लूट लिया है. So we do definitely need to be familiar with the terminology that they use and be able to communicate with them in that terminology because it makes them feel more comfortable.
Rape is a brutal violation, yet the victim becomes the accused. Why me? Did I do something to invite trouble? The woman is plagued by doubts and accusations. Her character is questioned. Experts are unanimous in their opinion. Doctors must maintain professionalism. They should believe the victim and not make any comment on her moral character or sexual history. Comments like habituated to sex, has had multiple partners should be strictly avoided as they find no place in the eyes of law.
Courts have said that ultimately you have to look into the evidence of the lady, and if she has, for example, even in the case of a prostitute, suppose there is a rape has taken place, of course she has the right to complain and the accused can be convicted even in such cases.
The Evidence Act does not permit past sexual history to be used as evidence for the defense lawyer. So now this has come about very recently, say about 2 years ago, 2003 the amendment came. But the doctors do not know this. So they still follow the old model and do finger insertion. So it's very important for doctors to know that the finger insertion purpose is no longer there for the evidence in court.
The case is medico-legal, but that does not undermine the importance of treatment and advice for sexually transmitted diseases, infections, and pregnancy. Doctors need to be willing to testify and validate their report in court if and when the need arises.
If you are not able to play a role in providing justice to the person who has been victimized, then I don't think we are really being ethical. Doctors should be ready to provide evidence in the court of law, and courts are now very sensitive to doctors' timing. I'm told that the courts do not allow any wastage of time when doctor goes to the court to give evidence. Doctor's evidence is taken first. So I think in that situation, doctors should not shun away from the duty to go and provide evidence if they are called upon by the court when a victim is trying to get justice.
Gender violence remains shrouded in secrecy. Behind each public outcry, there are thousands locked in silent tears. Doctors need to equip themselves with knowledge of the telltale signs of violence. Chronic pelvic pain, PIDs and STDs, bruises, abrasions, mutilations, and psychological problems need to be probed gently.
A woman patient is generally most comfortable with her gynecologist, and she may confide or may not open up but may say some things indirectly. An obstetrician or gynecologist has to be sensitive to the cues being offered by these women, and you require a special ear to listen to those needs.
Age and economics is no bar in sexual abuse. From 3 months to 30, 7 years to 70, anyone, anytime, anywhere could be in need of our help.
We need to update ourselves. We need to know exactly how to handle the situation wherein a woman approaches us. And we must make sure that we give her all the possible options what she can do. We have to just make her aware of what she can do to get justice for herself, and then let her make her own choice.